Abhay Anna is here. Gattiga chapatlu kottu Abhay Anna. Dhruva meer vinuntaru kada. Chalo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abhay Egoor, one of the founders at Dhruva Space. We are a private space technology company that's based out of Hyderabad itself. Firstly, I think I thank the organizers for inviting me and making me part of this event where we are celebrating and honoring Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam sir during on his 94th birth anniversary. I think we've all heard from Mr. Savalkar sir and also from Bharat, who on all the legacy that India has as a spacefaring nation. But if you look at from the first satellite that India had launched back in the 70s until today, or at least until the last decade, I think most of you would have grown up hearing about ISRO being one of the primary agencies which was building rockets as well as satellites and then launching them, right? So all of you must be wondering, how is that a private entity can do it now, or how each of you can also be part of this whole space community as it is growing now, within the country and across the globe. But before I elaborate a bit on how that transition happened, so can you take a wild guess in terms of what the size of satellites are getting launched typically today? Or rather, how small can they become? Right? Just give a shout if you think they are the size of a small car. You think that is the size of a satellite? Right. So what I have with me, what I'm holding in my hand over here is an actual satellite which Dhruva Space had launched in 2022. So this is a fully functional satellite. This is not a scaled down version of a large satellite, but this has all the components that are needed to fly and function in space. This can actually go into space, let's say on the rocket that is built by ISRO or Skyroot or any of the companies. And once it is deployed, this can actually send data down to the earth, and we have demonstrated that. So how did this happen? Historically you've been seeing a satellite, the size of a small room, etc., become this small. Of course, not all functionalities can be achieved using this size, but even launching a fully functional satellite of this size, how did it happen? You can draw an analogy to what has happened, let's say with your mobile phones, right? 20 years back, if you saw your parents holding a mobile phone, they were double the size of what you're holding right now, or even bigger. And the kind of features that they had, your camera quality, your processing speed, the number of apps you can download on them, all of them were, extremely limited in comparison to what, each of you are holding today, right? The same thing is happening within the space sector or on satellites as well, right? With advancement in manufacturing capability, with advancements in semiconductors, electronic chipsets, boards, etc., we are able to shrink the sizes of all these components to ensure, or rather, and achieve the kind of functionality that we deserve or we expect and we want within, the sizes that I just showed you. And how is this possible, by a private company now? So I'll give you an example of what typically happens in our company, right? And this is something I want, to also for each of you to relate in terms of how you can start contributing to this ecosystem. We are about, roughly now about 200 people, out of which 120 are core engineering, employees, I would say. And majority of them are split across three major departments. Like Mr. Bharat was just explaining, satellites, look at it just like electromechanical system where you're adding some intelligence through your code and then you put it together in a mechanical enclosure, but obviously using the right design principles. So to build such a system, we have a core mechanical engineering team. You have a core avionics team or let's say embedded systems or electronics, hardware and software team. And then you also have a firmware/software team who writes the code into them. So for each of you who are doing your core engineering, right, they're all across the same disciplines, right? Most of you might be pursuing your, I'm hearing a lot of aeronautical engineering. I heard someone say mechatronics or the other conventional degrees like your mechanical, electronics, even civil for that matter for some of the applications. So we build the team using the same engineers. It is not that, we are expecting someone to come with a space engineering background to start building satellites. We are there to stitch all these departments together to realize a satellite. But what we require going into the satellites is very much what, you're learning in your engineering as, an electronics or a mechanical engineer itself. And I think this is largely one, I would say, more like a misconception I wanted to break, that to enter into the space domain that you need to be someone like a space engineer to, by degree to come and work within this ecosystem. So that's one part of it. And now, where do we see, this whole industry or the demand for such a talent is there? So if you look at from a global landscape, right, until now, if the total number of satellites that were launched by all the countries put together is, let's say, about 20,000 satellites, right? You would have heard of SpaceX launching their Starlink or all the Indian satellites, all the US government satellites, etc. All put together, you are looking at about roughly 18,000 satellites that were launched, right from the first satellite that was launched in 1959, right? In 70 odd years, this is what were launched. But it is estimated that in the next 10 years, a very conservative estimate is that we are looking at least another 40,000 odd satellites that will be launched, which means that the entire method of how you are manufacturing these satellites, how you are, testing them, how you're launching them, the number of launches that will happen, everything will go through a fundamental shift. Just like how, an automotive industry got transformed or how, your consumer technology domains have got transformed. It is now the space industry that is going through that kind of a curve. And we are all extremely excited for this next phase. And we just hope that among all of you, we would be finding that kind of, enthusiasm and talent that will support, this whole mission. So I just have a very small video, post which, I'm open for any questions. Maybe if the team can just play the video. So until now, Dhruva Space has launched about 5 missions, out of which close to 9 payloads have been launched into space and are working. So just a brief video of all of these missions and the team. Our first mission was at 22. So this was on ISRO's the PSLV rocket. this was our latest mission on the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. Thank you. So all this is happening in Hyderabad. So all the development, manufacturing and testing of these satellites happen in Hyderabad. So that's the power of what we can do. And during the video, you would have seen, some glimpses of the team, part of the development or celebrating the launch, etc. You'd see most of the, team are young graduates where, probably 2 years or 3 years into the company straight out of graduation, being part of these kind of missions. And if they can do it and I can do it as, a similar experience kind of a thing with same education, I think any of you can do it. And I think that is the ultimate statement or belief that Dr. Abdul Kalam ji had in all of us, or that's what he tried to instill. And I think nothing more, I can say beyond that on this particular occasion. And again, I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to share our story. Open to take any questions if you have time. Otherwise, thank you.
Yeah, guys, do you have any queries to Abhay Anna? Anybody wants to pose any question? Only one or two. Come here. Hello, pass it the mic, please. Abhay Anna and his friends have started Dhruva. Now they are doing, next level. Soon some of you may, after listening to him, going to join in Dhruva or going to start like Dhruva. Guys, can you all put your hands together to appreciate these guys? Thank you. Yes, sir. Hello. Question akada? Yes, sir. Yes. Is it? Can? Yeah. Hello. Chalo. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Where are you? Yes, please.
I'm a student of VJIT. So my question is, can we execute space-related operations through AI, only with AI, without any human support? Can we expect such development in future?
Yeah, in fact, not in the future, but it's already happening. So most of the satellite systems pretty much operate autonomously, by themselves with very less human intervention. And today there are components of AI that, that are getting plugged into the satellite during, on-orbit image analysis or analysis of the data that's coming in from different payloads or the subsystems themselves to ensure that, they kind of improve by their own. So that is already happening in different satellites, and it's already, not in the future, but it's already the present.
Thank you. Next training. Yes, go ahead, madam.
Sir, my question is
Mic.
my question is basically about the internship opportunities or the career opportunities we might have, because it's as you said, we do everything here in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
So what chances do we have of gaining an internship, irrespective of what engineering stream you've taken?
I got your question. So we are working with Mr. Naresh ji to kind of create a portal also to, expect some candidates and also, see how we can fill up what, our requirement is. But while we do that separately, you are most welcome to, we are very accessible in social media, on LinkedIn, through website, etc. So, that would be the best forum also to look for any opportunities that we have.
Thank you. Thank you. Final question. Yes, Manoj. Yes, go ahead, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, congratulations for all your achievements. And my question is, we have an education system which is coming from the British time. So, do you think that if we change the education system, we can yield more talent and we can build more engineers and talented engineers?
I mean, I'm also a product of the same education system, so I don't have very specific complaints, but there's always, I'm assuming, scope for how we improve, the whole system itself. But what I think definitely efforts are also ongoing across various departments slash, such initiatives is that we are trying to bridge the gap between industry and institute. Right, to be able to get the talent ready to directly start working, in terms of bridging that gap. So I think it's all stakeholders are working towards that, because that is what ultimately is beneficial even to us as companies and also for you as students as well. So I think it's a continuous evolution, and as such I don't have any specific, I won't say it's bad or there's specific complaint around it right now, but yeah.
Water. Thank you, Abhay Anna. Guys, have you seen within years, Abhay Anna was like that. Hey, Abhay Anna slide ever? Yeah. Dekhiye. Now you can see like that, 100 poles of their company also evolved. Now you are all here to learn today. The Kalam Space Convention is to learn and grow, friends. You can see their, development, the growth. Now we have, Nagabharatana. You have seen Skyroot. They are all learning and trying to compete with the world, trying to help the world. Friends, here we have Srinivas Raju Garu. So, DRDO lo work chestu, manam idi kaadu life ani, ayana friend vachi, they started using UTS, Unisync Tech Solutions. Guys, they are all here to help you all. But you need to understand this. You need to learn this. I believe this Kalam Space Convention 2025 will add value to your lives and your day and your time. With this, I want to thank all my supporters, speakers, HODs, faculties, all the active colleges, engineering colleges, student coordinators, volunteers. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Can you join me again to add value and respect to this day? I also want to thank my friend Pradeep Savalkar. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
and now, with
sir,
this.
There's one last question.
Yes, sir. Boys, are yaar.
One last question before we leave.
अभी तक किधर गए रहे? चलो. It's working, sir.
Sir, we all know about semiconductors, and we also know that for semiconductors to work, we need very less temperature. It can be used in maglev or anywhere else. So as to research it, can't we place any research center in IIS, because International Space Station, because we all know that space temperature is very low. Besides that, if it doesn't have it, what's holding us to, create a research center at ISS?
I don't think I fully understood the question, but in principle, all the semiconductors experience the same temperature as it would experience on Earth typically, which is between minus 40 degrees to plus 150 degrees. So all the electronics are packaged in such a way that it doesn't experience more than that. So that is the design that we do on the whole satellite system to make sure that it happens that way.
No, I am particularly talking about the application in which their temperature is decreased to very less, so that we can use its property of levitation to create maglev trains or something like that.
But I mean, okay, it's little technical question. Maybe we can discuss offline.
Okay,
I'll
fine.
be here. You can come over. But yeah,
Fine, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Guys, can you all put your hands together to appreciate all our speakers from the Dr. Reddy to Subhan Shukla and Abhay Anna? We request Abhay Anna. Abhay Anna, please, can you please stay back with us for one more minute? I also request